Good morning, YouTube. Alright, so I want to do a video. A couple months ago, I did a first video on this truck, um, but I never posted it because I didn't like it much. But I'm gonna do one now. So this truck was a gift from my grandfather. Sorry about all the traffic going by. But anyway, this truck was originally a gift from my grandfather about a year ago. And I haven't done a video on it yet, but it's the picture in my YouTube profile. So it's a 1998 Ford Ranger with a 2.5 liter inline 4 and a 5-speed manual. With a that's pretty much it. It's all stock, so there's not much name. Now for the things I've done to it, I blacked out the grill and the bumper here. I put on these blacked out headlights. I got those, or blacked out blinkers, and these corner lights, I think is what they're called. Blacked out the badges and the wheels all the way around. And I put in one of those Rust-Oleum bed liners. Word of advice though, don't buy a Rust-Oleum bed liner. I can scrape it off almost with my fingernail, not quite, but like right there. It's pretty bad. It's not worth the $40 that it cost me, even for the look. So I also put a new windshield in, but that's not really a mod. It's just a. All right. Well, anyway, so what I wanted to do with this truck, like at the very beginning, like before I even brought it home, what I wanted to do with it was build an off-road truck. I didn't know if I wanted to go full pre-runner with like an entire bed cage and long travel or whatever, but I knew that I wanted to do some kind of off-roading with it. But those off-road kits like BTF, you ever go on BTF, they have a really nice, really well-made kit, but I can't afford to buy it for $2,100 and then buy $150 shocks and then do the rear end yet. Maybe one day. But for now, what I did was I bought a 2000 Ford Ranger, which are built the exact same way as this. Nothing changed in those 2 years or whatever. But it's fully built. It's got I'll show it to you now. It's a 2000 Ford Ranger, extended cab short bed with 3 liter V6 and a 5-speed. And what happened was the guy I bought it from, it popped out of gear in his driveway. It doesn't have an emergency brakes right now, and it's been like that since I bought it. So I'm thinking that's what it was. But yeah, apparently it just popped out of gear, slid into the street, and rolled over, as you can see there. So he was selling it. I got it for about $700. It's got a 5.5, or it's got a FabTech 5.5. Apologize. It's got a FabTech 5.5 front lift kit. It's not long travel. But it's a lift. It's a 5.5-inch lift. I don't exactly know how it works. I know that the A-arm. I know that the upper control arm is FabTech because it's FabTech blue, but I'm not sure if it's got like a longer spring or a taller spindle or what's going on in there. So if you want to leave a answer in the comments, I'd love to know how that works. But I'm probably gonna use just all of it on that truck. And then back here is where the bed usually is, obviously. We got a Ford 8.8 rear end, which is I know it's not as strong as the 9-inch, but I mean, for an 8.8 in a Ranger is gonna do whatever I want it to do, and not have a problem. So that's what I'm going for. It's got Deaver F31 leaf springs, which are, as far as I can tell, they're like high-end off-road leaf springs. I mean, I know that not really any pre-runner really wants to be leaf sprung. They all want to have a tube chassis and a 4-link, but I mean, I'm just getting started. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But as I said, it's got the 3 liter in it. So let me show you what I've taken off this truck. So far I've taken the bed, it had fiberglass all the way around, but it's not off. I didn't do a video when I was tearing it apart. But yeah, you got fenders there, bedsides up there, a bed back here because my truck's a step side and the bedsides won't work on a step side, so I have to use that. But they bolt down the same. We have, sorry about that. It had a bed cage, or actually that's not even a cage. That's just shock hoops. But you know, it's got shock hoops. It had Bilstein. I don't remember what Bilsteins they are. I had to look it up because they're rusted. So I'm probably gonna sand them down and paint them, and then I'm gonna have them gone through by a shop, so they're just to make sure they're all good. And if they're not, I'll buy some new shocks. You know, they're not horribly expensive. They're not cheap. They're not horribly expensive. But yeah, so I got the shocks, the cage or the hoops, the bed, the fiberglass. I took off the whole grill assembly as you saw over there, just because it was easier than pulling the headlights out. I also pulled out the passenger seat, which is sitting over there on the other side of the garage. The driver's seat needs to stay in till the last possible second, just in case we need to move the truck. But oh, sorry, that's horrible view. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the gauge cluster, I like it. It's an aftermarket gauge cluster. I like that it glows red. You know, if you ever start your car, turn on the headlights, it glow red. Yeah, every car does that. But my truck glows green. It's a red truck and it glows green. So I was like, well, we'll just use that. But the problem is that doesn't have an RPM gauge. It doesn't have a tach, and my truck does. So I think I'm just going to leave that alone. I'll probably pull the dash out of this because my truck has a hole in the dash and this truck doesn't. I'll show you that. It was a really stupid hole that I made, but you know, I don't know if I'm gonna do. So it's currently the end of July, so I go back to school soon. So what I'm thinking is I want to swap this engine into that because I said it's got a 4-cylinder and this is a 3-liter V6, which isn't a huge engine, but it makes a hell of a lot more horsepower than that truck. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pull this engine and put it on an engine stand and just go through it while I'm doing school this year, and then maybe next summer do an engine swap because that's gonna be a project. I've never done an engine swap before. I got my dad to help me, so that'll be cool. But yeah, I gotta pull the engine out of that. It looked orange for a second. That was weird. Gotta pull the engine out of that. Shouldn't be hard. It's a really light, really small engine. Then I gotta pull the engine out of this. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that like next summer. So I'll make a video. I mean, that won't be my next video, but I'll make a video. But there's the other seat. This is the works table right now. I took the shift boot off because I need it for that truck. I cut the shift boot on that truck, trying to get down to the shift linkage, and now I can't fix it, so I needed a new shift boot. Also, I'm taking this bumper. Sorry, I keep turning it sideways. I'm filming on my phone. It's hard to get the entire thing in frame. I have a GoPro, but it's not currently at my house. My next video will be made from GoPro. But for now, I got my phone, so I apologize. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me go over this for a second. So my truck is red, right? And I don't want to sand down the cab so that I can paint it a different color, and I can't afford to have it wrapped or painted or anything right now. So what I think I'm going to do is have a shop mix up a gallon of paint that'll match the red that's on the truck, which is a paint code E4, I think, but it's a vermilion red. So what I'm going to do is sand down these fenders and bed sides and just paint them. I have a paint gun over there, like a paint gun that runs off compressed air. And I'm just gonna paint that. I don't know what color I'm gonna paint the bed. Don't know what color I'm gonna paint the hoop. I think I'm gonna just go with Bilstein blue for the shocks. And then the grill I'm not putting on. I like my grill better. I'm trying to keep some of the truck original because I'm ripping it apart right now. You know, I mean, I'm changing the interior, changing the exterior. As I said, it's a gift from my grandfather, so I'd like to keep some of it original. If you know where I'm coming from. So if you guys have any like preferences on what might look cool, for the hoops and for the I'm also gonna need to be painting the leaf springs because they usually come just, I think they're powder coated, but these are older ones and they're rusty. I'm gonna be painting the rear end. I'm gonna be painting the frame on my truck. So if you guys have any idea what kind of colors might look cool on my truck, as far as the rear end, the leaf springs, the bed hoops, the shocks, I don't have to paint the shocks Bilstein blue. I mean, whatever you guys think looks cool, I'll think hard on it and we'll see. But yeah, that's the build so far. I apologize for not filming when I first got the truck. I should have, but I don't know, I just didn't. So yeah, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna end it here. But stay tuned. I'll be posting the next part of the project. Thanks.